Hey guys, how is it going? Welcome back, and in this video we are going to talk about destructuring in JavaScript, and this is concerning arrays and objects. Now, what is destructuring? Destructuring is basically a special syntax that makes it possible for us to unpack values from arrays or properties from objects into different variables, which we can then use later on in our programs. Now, this is very important when you want to write shorter and cleaner code, as we are going to see momentarily. Additionally, understanding how destructuring works will come in handy when you start building your React applications. Alright, enough talking, let's get practical. Let's start with arrays. So imagine you have an array called fruits with two fruits, let's say mango and apple, and you wanted to store the first fruit in its own variable and the second one in its separate variable. You would do something like const mango fruit equals fruits at index 0 to get access to mango, and const apple fruits and fruits at index 1 to get access to the apple fruit. To log this to the console, you do console.log mango fruit and then apple fruit, like so. So when you run the program, you see mango and apple. Right, so now this works, but think about all the typing and copy, paste and edit work you have to do. This is where destructuring comes to the rescue. With destructuring, we can do something like this. So you do const and then you open a set of square brackets, and here you specify the variable names that are going to contain your items in an array. For instance, the first one will be mango fruit and the second one will be apple fruit, and then you equate it to the array you are dealing with, which is fruits in this case. Now with mango fruit, it's a variable that contains the mango item, and apple fruit with apple item. Well, to see it in the console, you do mango fruit and then apple fruit, like so. If I run the program, I see exactly the same, but this time we used one line of code, which is more cleaner and readable. Great, so that was it for the arrays. Moving on to the objects, it works exactly the same. So let's say you have a person object with these key properties. Let's say first name equal to John, last name Doe, and say age 40, for instance. Now, to get access to first name, last name and age and store them in different variables, you would have to do something like const first name person.first name const last name equals person.last name, and finally const age will be person.age, like so. To see it in the log in the console, you will do console.log first name, last name and finally age, like so. Great, you see these three values, John, Doe and 40, which is they correspond to the first name, last name and age. This is great, but you managed to do this with 3 lines of code here, but with destructuring you can do this with 1 line of code. So let's try it. You do const, but instead of opening square brackets, you open curly braces, like so, and then you equate it to the person you are dealing with, or the object that you are dealing with. Now, the first variable that's going to contain the John value is going to be first name, second value is going to be last name, and finally age. If I log this to the console, I should see exactly the same. And I do, John Doe 40. This is great because now with Destructuring, we have minimized the number of lines of code while maintaining code readability, right? So all right, with this you now have the basics you need to start using Destructuring in your projects. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the very next video. Ciao.